Hi, welcome back. Yay! So what had happened was I had started and we weren't recording and all the laughs are gone. Sorry, they're gone. So like all the laughs that I gotten are gone. So basically let's start all over again, which is basically my name is Raghav Mandava. I'm good at talking to strangers. That's what qualifies me to talk about why strangers are angry at each other on the internet. Basically, I had started with the fact that we are not able to separate the rule number one of arguing on the internet, and this is very important. This is rule number one, not just about the internet, this is about life. Because I am not able to separate my opinions with my identity, with my sense of who I am, what I believe and what I think is right or wrong or good or bad. I am not able to separate it whether that's Raghav Mandava or it isn't. For example, I love Kanye West. Right, like, yeah, I love Kanye West. And Kanye West is a bad person to love because a lot of people hate Kanye West. Right, but Kanye West has gotten me personally through some really hard times with his lyrics, with his songs and things like that, right? Like, for instance, he talks about his family and about how he has this very torrential relationship with his middle class father who, for example, what the words were, I didn't know what he did for dough, but he always sent me back to school with a new wardrobe. Right, like everybody, people know have this sort of relationship with their dad. Like, पता नहीं बाप क्या करता है, but dude, I get stuff. Right, like, like that's what, and like he's talking about like how he struggles with his father, and I'm going through all of this, and he's such an important part of my life. So when someone says Kanye West is a musician, I don't feel like they're attacking Kanye West. I feel like they're attacking me because he's done so much for me in his music, right? And this can happen with anything, like whether it be a band, whether it be a political party. Like a political party could have done a lot for you in terms of your social standing, in terms of maybe a better life or whatever the hell you call a better life, right? So when you attack someone. No, let's keep it to Kanye West. See, as soon as I said political party, I saw the faces change. They're like, oh no, oh no. So let's keep it to Kanye West, right? I really love Kanye West. I voted for Kanye West, all right? So when someone attacks Kanye West, I feel like they're attacking me. And then when I need to attack them back, I'm like, okay, what is this person like, right? And I'm going to attack his opinion. But even this person is going through the same thing where they're like, no, Metallica is better. You don't understand, man, that they changed metal music. And when I was a 17-year-old, their songs about death and their relationship with their mother and things like that, that got me through something. So he's arguing the same thing. Like, do you realize what's happening? Both of you are arguing opinions, but you're actually fighting each other about yourselves, whereas it doesn't matter whether I like Kanye West or not. It doesn't mean if I like Kanye West, I like aloo tikki as well, right? Because they're not related. Your opinions on things are not related with who you are and what you do as a person. Does anybody feel like they disagree with this, opinions and identity? Because remember, this is my opinion and my opinion only. Does anybody feel like they disagree with this or have an instance where they have this happen to them, where you are defending your opinion and you get so caught up, you don't even realize what's happening to you? In terms of, does this happen to you guys? Like, do you remember the last time this happened to you? I'm pretty sure some of you are in Facebook arguments right now. Right now. Look, Facebook arguments have changed, right? Earlier it used to be who can reply the quickest. Right? Now it's like people are watching. Right? You all have an audience. Like, see, I have an audience right now, a real one is what I would like to say. People are sitting here looking at me and this is my audience. But now everybody does. Even if you are a mild Facebook user and you have, say, only 60 friends, right? That is a full room of comedy. If you think about it, in the average Delhi comedy pub gig, those 60 people in one place, holy shit, it's a show. It's a show. And they're all looking at me. So this is what's happening on Facebook. You all have shitty forts full of audiences, right? Like even if you have 400 people, that's Habitat. It's a packed room at Habitat, right? And you're performing. Every status is a performance to these people about your life and what you're doing. You all have audiences. We all have audiences. And that's what happens. Like I've noticed the changes in anger and tonality when I'm talking to my friends, see, tell me, just nod your heads if you've seen this somewhere. When you're talking to your friends on WhatsApp, like on a solo conversation, it's going all well, hunky dory, blah, blah, blah. But on the group, they're a different person. Have you noticed this? Right? Like, it's like, this guy, like, and on the group, you're like, wait, what? This just changed, like, so because over there, it's even an audience of 8 people. That's a group. Holy shit, now everybody's looking at me. And that same argument of opinions and identity, it's so ingrained in us that we're aware of it all the time. See, our folks didn't have this issue. Right? Like, in the sense, if my dad wanted to say some outlandish in the house, nobody was listening. Right? Nobody was listening. 6 people were listening. 4 people were listening. If my brother wanted to say some weird opinion, 4 people were listening, and we can have a conversation. That's how one thing that we totally missed out on is how to have a real conversation. But I have to look down and see how much have I made so far. So we've covered why do people get angry on the internet. The main thing is opinion and identity. And the other thing is, like, I've been on the internet for a long time. How long? Like about what? 18 years now? 16 years? Like, yes. It's like when the internet was the internet, not when it was social media. Those are 2 different things. Right? Like, so it was also funny. Like, for the longest time, being angry on the internet was funny. Look, the internet came about when Seinfeld was like at its peak of fame, right? So the identity of a generation is sarcasm and funny, right? Sarcasm, anger, and funny. That's the identity, and that gave us Maddox. Does anybody know who's Maddox? Anyone who knows who's Maddox? Or he was the most popular page on the internet when the internet was like 20 websites, right? Like, it was huge. Like his works, like, we don't even know this. Like, the way he writes on the internet, that anger, ranty stuff. If you look at it today, he is the Seinfeld of the internet. It was funny. Like, what he would talk about in anger was funny, and we thought that being angry on the internet became funny suddenly. Like, being sarcastic and being like, like under the belt remarks is just the way the internet is. That's how it became. That social media took this energy of like that Seinfeldisk, that anger, that Maddox, and all of that, and that's how we started talking. That's how social media was born. And now, suddenly, we have millions of new users, right? Like, there are millions of new users. Now, think about this. If you're at a party, if you are late to a party and you walk in and you see everybody sloshed and making out with each other, right? Like, let's just imagine. Okay, they're not even sloshed. They're just making out with each other, right? If you walk into a party like that, right? Guys, girls, dogs, whatever. Like, everybody's just making out with everything. You'd be like, oh my God, I've walked into a right? Like, right, this is what's happening. Now imagine all these new geo users, right? They are walking into social media right now and everybody's shouting at each other. They're like, this is the internet. I get to shout at everyone. This is amazing. This is what the internet is. I get to just shout at everyone because I've walked into a conversation with everybody shouting at each other. Of course, this is how we're supposed to do it. Of course. So, like, that's what's happening. All these new guys, nobody's showing them the internet. Everybody's showing them social media, which is basically shouting at each other. Right? Nobody's told them that, look, man, Netflix also has BBC Earth shows. You should go watch them. Nobody. With this already existing, with this sense of anger, and this is what everybody should do, right? People have also started to get clever with words and also not so clever with words. But the point is कि मुझे तेरी बेइज्जती करना है, right? In your argument, I have to pick holes. And remember, opinions and identity, right? I can't figure out what my opinions and my identity separate. If I can't do that for myself, I sure as hell cannot figure out what this person is going through with his opinions and identity. So I know I will go and write stuff to hit his opinion in a way where it will hit him, right? It won't just be about, like, like in the sense, for example, right? Imagine there's an 18-year-old who wants to vote for a certain political party, right? And you want to bring up to this 18-year-old that if you support such and such party, you also support violence against a certain religion, right? But this 18-year-old has no clue. that this happened, right? If you think about it, he has no clue. He doesn't know that the riots and blah blah blah. No, it happened. But you will say that if you support blah blah blah, you also support. No, he doesn't know. Why are you assuming that? That he knows what he's doing. This is one thing that we do in opinions all the time. कि अगर तुझे Kanye West अच्छा लगता है ना, then you support misogyny. अबे क्यों? Like because he did a song called Gold Digger. अबे क्यों? Right? It doesn't mean that. Gold Digger is a great beat. It doesn't mean I agree with the opinions on the song. Right? But no, you have to. Like if you like something, that is you. And we always shove this down the other person's throat as well. When we ourselves are doing the same thing, where we cannot separate that, hey, listen, man, I like pancakes, doesn't mean I am a pancake. Right? Doesn't mean I have to defend pancakes. Right? You can, and rule number 2 of internet arguing, more than 2 comments is bye-bye. Just leave. Just leave. You cannot change people's minds. Why? Give up. Give up. I don't care how ridiculous the opinion is. Give up. Like gay people shouldn't be married. That I think is ridiculous. Some people don't. Give up. He's never going to agree. He's never going to agree, man. Are you mad? Why am I even trying? Like, you know what? You know what I'll do? What I should do is I should go start a new church because I can. It's legal, right? I can start a religion if I want, where I'll say gay people are allowed to get married. And the weird thing is that we'll say for legal reasons, one is he, one is she. They can figure it out which one is what, right? And like, and we for legal reasons, and you all get married. Just pretend to wear sometimes if you are 2 women, and say you don't have one, and that's what I'll do. Right, that I have more chances of pulling that off than changing this guy's mind in an argument. I really do. I have more chances. I can get a church, register it, go become a rabbi, get these 2 gay people married, then get this guy to say, okay, you're right. Because you're not getting it. You're not getting the okay, you're right. It's not gonna happen. Give up. Please do not engage arguments on the internet, because everybody's going through the same thing as me, where they cannot separate their sense of self from what they're trying to argue. Also, another big problem with the internet and general media today is the Arnab Goswami effect. You all know it, you all bear it, and I will say this flat out, I genuinely believe that Arnab Goswami is a bigger threat to India than Pakistan. He is a bigger threat to India than Pakistan. He's a bigger threat to India than China. Right, the threat we don't talk about. Right, he is, man. He is, because the thing is, like, look, I don't think Pakistani people, like, every time I've met a Pakistani person, nobody's been like, no, it's never been that. I've met like, oh, you're Pakistani, that's so cool. Why are we the same? Like, that's the question I ask myself every time. Like, I could have met you in a party in Bombay and I wouldn't have known the difference. Why is this guy trying to sell me that I should hate them? Right? Why is this concept being sold to me that I should hate this country, which is basically my brothers and sisters in another place, a family feud, we have property ke pe lad rahe hain. Right? That's what is happening. But doesn't mean I shouldn't chill with my cousins. That. Right? Like imagine you have a cousin you're really fond of, and your parents start fighting. Will you stop chilling with that cousin of yours? No. Right? You won't. Right? Is it happening in your family right now? Because you said no really quickly. But you won't stop chilling with that cousin. That's Pakistan. Why are you trying to, like, the government of Pakistan's a dick, right? Like whatever. But the people of Pakistan are not. Why are you trying to sell me this concept that I should hate them? Similarly, because opinions and identity creates this sense of us versus them. Because you're all like, we are this person, right? That we are blah, blah, blah supporters, and we are blah, blah, blah fans, and we are this, and these guys are not. So we should separate them and fight with them. And in us versus them, it happens like either you're on this side or you're on that side. No, you can be on the outside, having fun, looking at, it's just like, I mean, I seriously don't understand why I should hate Pakistan. I don't. I don't understand why I should hate Pakistan. I don't understand, like, even with, like, football. Football is a great example of us versus them, right? Like, I truly believe, I love football, right? But I truly believe football would be better if it didn't have football fans. It really would be. Because us versus them does not pick up harder than in football. Like, I'm an Arsenal supporter, right? As soon as I say that, somebody will go like, "Hey, itne saal trophy nahi jeeta." Abey, main thodi na khel raha hu yaar. I'm not going out there and playing, man. Like, you know, like you're supposed to hate Tottenham Hotspurs if you're an Arsenal fan, right? Like, because Tottenham Hotspurs is a club that is 4 kilometers away from the Emirates Stadium where Arsenal plays. So they're both in London. They're rivals because they have this border sort of thing. But they're both 10,000 kilometers away from me, right? What, like 10,000 kilometers in 10,004? Oh my God. I'm supposed to hate them with a passion. No, I don't. Like, I'm not a Londoner. I'm not there. Similarly, I'm not at the border. I'm not shooting people over there. Why should I hate the average Pakistani? A soldier has great reason to, because that's his job. He better shoot them if a war breaks out. But I don't. I'm a civilian. Why am I supposed to hate them? That's the thing. Like, it's become this us versus them, and it's constantly like it's separating into like, you know, like bigger groups and subgroups in that and subgroups in that and subgroups in that. Eventually, you will realize you're just alone on the internet because you're arguing with everybody. Or you're agreeing with people who are in the echo chamber of your own nonsense, right? That's another problem that happens with the internet. Like earlier, 20 years ago, if I went somewhere, like I was a huge Metallica fan, like say 15 years ago, and Metallica had this band, had a rival band at that time called Megadeth. Because the lead guitarist from Metallica left and formed this band called Megadeth, and he was backstabbed by James Hetfield. So if you were a Megadeth fan, you were supposed to hate James Hetfield, and if you're a Metallica fan, you're supposed to think that Megadeth is like this lame like byproduct of Metallica. You're supposed to think all these things. But I did not have the internet when this was a conversation. So what I would do is I would sit down with somebody and hash it out face to face. Right. And one thing I noticed that if I said something mean to that person, I would see them hurt. And that hurt would hurt me. This is something that is lost. Right? Because when you make someone feel bad and when you see them, when you see their face contract, you know, that moment of like poof that goes, it does it to you too. But on the internet, it's not there. Like Louis C.K. said this. Like, it's like, I feel so good. I feel so good. I just called this person fat, and they're probably sitting there feeling bad about themselves, and I have no idea what's happening. Right? It's one thing that I genuinely think, like, if you are in a Facebook argument somewhere, why don't you try meeting them? Genuinely. Genuinely. Why don't you try meeting them? Because they are still your friends. That's why they're on your page. Right? Like if they, I mean, I hope so. I hope so. Right? Otherwise, what are you doing? Arguing with someone you don't like who is on your friends list. You didn't have this earlier. You didn't have friends who you hated. You just had people you like, you know, friends of friends who you hated, but you didn't have a person who you would like invite into, because when you're having a conversation with someone, you're literally inviting them into your life for everybody else to see that you two are having a conversation and you don't like each other. That's weird. Why are you debating this? Just leave. 2 comments, leave. Upload a cat gif, get out. That's my thing. Like, as soon as you're getting an argument that's getting really bad, right? Upload a cat gif, get out. All right, or whatever animal you like, snakes versus iguanas, whatever. Like, just upload it, get the fuck out, right? Like, sometimes in the middle of a conversation, I just upload a great goal by Thierry Henry with commentary. It's like, hey, look at this. Distract yourself for 15 seconds. Okay, now get back to it. It's fine. Nothing's going to work out anyway. Last but not least, how can we calm down? How should we calm down? Now, this is what I do. And it doesn't necessarily work for everybody, but I don't engage any argument that doesn't directly concern me. Seriously. Like, unless someone has tagged me and said, what is your opinion about this? I still ignore it. Because I don't need to get into this. It doesn't concern me. Am I being accused of something? Am I being killed? Am I being blah, blah, blah? Am I the person whose work is being critiqued? No, don't give a f. Right? Look, here's the thing. I don't give a f. But I really give a f that you know that I don't give a f. Right? Like, I really give a f that you don't, that you know I don't. Right, because that's what my stand is. I don't want to care, but I want you to know that I don't care. I really want you to know. that I don't care. It's weird, but that's what I want to be. So I don't engage any argument. And the thing is, I seek the internet. Stop seeking social media. Like I have these like little things like that make me check how much I am on the internet. For instance, if I open Chrome on my phone and if I type the first words I type on the browser is face, and I catch myself do it, I hate myself a little bit, just a little bit. I'm like, there are other websites out there. There are websites out there. Like, I rather just go on Reddit because I'm seeking stuff that is new. I don't want to see the same people arguing about the same thing. I don't want to see who's having a great fake life in some Helsinki trip. I don't care. Right? Because that's what it's designed to do. It's supposed to make you, like, social media is designed so that you lie about what you are doing and you accept the lies of what other people are doing. It's weird. Right, so stop seeking social media, seek the internet. That's one thing. For example, like Netflix. You're all on Netflix. Everybody watches Netflix, right? And I'm guessing most of you watch the shows that are being recommended to you by people in your peer group. That. Like, just, no, seriously, go search your own thing. Go search your own thing, right? Like, because Netflix is huge. It's a huge library of stuff. Like, one of the things I like to look at in Netflix is, like, multiple people share my account, and you also have accounts where you share other people. I like to go see what people are suggesting, and if my suggestions are the same as everybody else in my friend circle or whatever, I hate myself. Not because I want to be different, because I'm only accessing what is already available. I'm not going out and searching and something. Like, for example, one recommendation I have, I'm going to do that thing. I'm basically saying कि अपनी दोस्तों की बात मत सुनो, मेरी सुनो. That's what I'm basically saying. Which is, please go watch the BBC Earth shows on Netflix, right? Because, and this is my logic behind it, governments, prime ministers, presidents, they're not real to me. They're not. They're all man-made opinions and made-up things, right? For me, what is real is there's a bird in there's an entire species of birds, about 50 of them, in Papua New Guinea, on an island that's only 10 million years old, which is young in terms of, like, islands in the world, right? It is. It's very young in terms of islands in the world. We've been around for like 300, 400 million. Who gives a shit, right? But 10 million is very little, right? So this island has no predators. So these birds are the most beautiful birds in, like, you can't imagine. They're literally golden and silver, like some of these species, right? This is real. I can't change this. Nothing. No, electing anybody is not going to change the fact that these birds came up in 10 million years, because this is real. So that's my opinion. Like, I like to wash away myself from what is, I have to separate what is not real from real. Because no matter what happens, those birds they'll go extinct, but their story is not going to change. 10 million years, they're pretty because they don't have predators on this island. That story you can't. You have to invent a time machine to change that. Right. But if I want to change a story that's happening today, I just have to find new evidence. I just have to find a photo from somewhere or some text from somewhere, and bas, badal gaya. Like demonetization is a fraud. Kyunki 99% RBI ne le liya, oh, sab fail hai. Like, do you see how quickly this reality changes versus that reality? That's what my thing is, that this reality is very unstable, the social media reality. So that's one way you can calm down, is trying to tell yourself what is the difference between real and not. This is my opinion, once again, not yours. My opinion. It's just a suggestion. Last but not the least, if you're not into any computer games, you should be. No, you should be. They're a great way to alleviate stress. And computer games you get really good at almost become a meditation. Because meditation is basically like one task and doing only that task. That's why your grandparents were happy people. Have you noticed, like, that generation, your parents and grandparents, they're all happy? It's weird, right? I mean, they have problems and everything, but nothing compared to you guys, right? When you think about it, like, I have so many problems and my parents don't. This doesn't make sense. They're older. They should have more, but they don't, because they didn't have options. That's the thing. Like, every little task for our folks was meditation. Like, you're at work, you're only at work. You're at home, you're only at home. You're playing with your kids, you're only playing with your kids. every little thing was a meditation for them. But when you're playing with your kids, you're checking WhatsApp, there's Instagram, you got a picture, you got to upload it. Everybody has to know you have a kid. Otherwise, what's the point of having a kid? Right? Everybody has to know that, look, my kid is cute, look. You got to do that. Otherwise, what is the point of a baby? Is it evolution? Is it like reproduction? Is it your biometric systems? No. Instagram. That's the point of a baby. It's not. Like, it's none of that stuff. So yeah, just figure out what's real, what's not. Stay away from every argument on the internet. You're not going to win any of them. And you're not. You're genuinely not. Give up. Right? Give up. Give up. Like, and last but not the least, I don't know. Figure it out. Thank you all so much, man. That's all I got. Thank you. Thank you.